So Jennifer says, I'm starting out private pay and I'm just having a hard time with how to talk about it. In my community, there are lots of therapists who take insurance. So that is a great question. So here is my suggestion to you. If you don't already have a very clear niche, I would make sure that you're very, when you're talking to people, you're very specific about this is who I work with, this is how I help. And, hopefully that's something that will make you stand out compared to the other therapists. Because I'm sure there's lots of therapists who are just sort of generalists who take insurance, and kind of the average person who's struggling with like depression or anxiety, wants to use their insurance and doesn't really see a need to self-pay. Versus I just hired somebody who does couples therapy and also sex therapy. And that's something in my area that is very limited. And so we're going to advertise her as all self-pay because I know there's such a limited amount of clinicians that do that people will figure that out and they'll be willing to self-pay. So Jennifer says, I have a niche for sure. I do stand out. Okay, tell us what your niche is because I'm curious. And then maybe I can give you some ideas about how to market it a little bit differently. And Alison Kate says, same boat. Okay, so tell me, Alison Kate, too, what your niche is, and maybe I can give you some ideas about that. I think what I found too is that like when people call in, they get very stuck on like they either want to use their insurance or they're open to being self-pay, and it doesn't necessarily matter like how much you're charging. It's just like they get very sort of like entrenched in like, I have to use my insurance, and they can't imagine not using their insurance. And so maybe that's just not your ideal client. And I think part of it too is you have to do a little bit of education with people because people don't understand how their insurance works. And so what I find is so many people have high deductible plans now. They're paying for it anyway. They're paying the $90 or the $100 anyway when they come to therapy, even if they are using their insurance. And so sometimes if you sort of explain that to them, then it makes a little bit more sense why they would want to be out of network, for example. And I think just a lot of people don't, especially when it comes to like using mental health benefits, they don't understand how all that works.